86% of middle schoolers have body dysmorphia. So
Wow.
men want to be bigger and stronger, women want to be more curvy and prettier. Combine that with depression, poor diet, parents' divorce, things like trauma like that, it can cause some confusion. But the deeper meaning is we're in this physical incarnation, we came here with a soul's contract, and just going with it because the universe will continue to test you until you pass the test.
Okay, guys, we got Jonathan Robinson here today. Flew in from Michigan and wearing a nice outfit, my man. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you're 37, but you look younger than me, so well done.
Drink all that up north Michigan water.
Yeah, I think it's all the spiritual work you do too.
That helps.
That definitely helps. I think people don't take spiritual health seriously these days.
Yeah, and I try to meditate or do self-guided hypnotherapy every day, if not twice a day.
Wow. So, what does that look like?
About 20 minutes, just a nice reset. You know how you can reset a device or a computer? It works more optimally. But we have a lot of programs running in our mind, and we need to get that reset sometimes, and we can come out of it rejuvenated and just more clarity.
When did you start doing that? What age?
You know, when I learned transcendental meditation, I was actually already doing it. I didn't realize I was doing it, so I was kind of a natural at it. And then about 5 years ago, I started my journey with hypnotherapy.
Okay. And what made you compelled to pursue that? Were you dealing with some stuff?
Well, my friends said I had a good bedtime storytelling voice. And I said, what can I do with that? And I tried hypnotherapy. I won my disc golf tournament. Never won a tournament before. I won it first place. That month, I was top sales guy. And I realized these limiting beliefs that I had were just in my mind. And through that work, just one session was so powerful.
Wow. That's pretty crazy to have that change a physical sport outcome, right?
It was, yeah, because it's a lot in your head. Golf is between the ears. I mean, you can have that. A lot of people have that sports anxiety, so hypnotherapy can really help with that too. Yeah,
because when you see athletes train, they almost always pursue the physical aspect of the sport, but rarely are they hiring someone like you to reframe their mental side. Maybe that's changing these days. I know some major sports teams that have like a psychologist on standby, but back then that's not how it was, right?
Yeah, Mike Tyson had a hypnotherapist. Rob Dyrdek, the skateboarder, contributes a lot of his success to his hypnotherapy session that made him blast into what he's doing now.
Wow, I've actually seen that clip about Rob talking about that, and now he's a beast. I might have to try it.
You should. And everyone can do this too. It's not something that's limited. Everyone can do meditation, hypnotherapy. I think everyone should learn Reiki as well.
I've done Reiki. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I want to try it again, but I felt definitely some pain alleviation.
I did Reiki for the first time a few years ago, and I felt more like myself than ever. My throat was opened up. She was telling me things about my body that I didn't tell anyone, and she was able to really help me balance myself out.
Wow. I do believe in emotions being tied to organs.
Yeah, they say everything in the physical manifests from the spiritual. So it can...
Because every time I'm dealing with anger, I'll look up like what emotion that's tied to, and I'll be having some health issues in that, literally in that organ. Like I'll have a health test done, and it correlates with it.
Yeah, Dolores Cannon says a lot of angers in the colon sometimes because our pelvic floor, we tighten up when we're angry, right? So we can learn to relax it more. We can just live more balanced.
I love that. Where do past lives play into all this stuff that we're talking about?
So I've always wondered the bigger picture questions in life. What happens after we die? Who runs the world? What's our purpose? And one day at a health food store, I came across the guy talking about Michael Newton. Michael Newton's a famous past life author. He has several books. So went home that night, watched some videos, couldn't even sleep. I was so excited. My body was vibrating like this is important. You need to pursue this. After reading his books, I consumed Dolores Cannon's book. She's another well-known author. And I said, I'm a skeptic. So I said, if they can do that, I can too. Learned hypnotherapy and Reiki and breath work. And one after another, all my clients started going into their past lives. You have to practice with friends and stuff first. I wouldn't even tell them it's past life. I would just say, hey, it's a spiritual session. Just be open-minded. And one after another, there's not even the word past life in the therapy part. And they all went into their past lives.
That's crazy. So do you think everyone living right now has had a past life?
hundreds, if not thousands.
Wow.
It's consider your life like a book, and right now we're in the current chapter, and we've had many chapters before, and you are the sum of all these parts, and we're going to have future chapters as well. But right now we can write that, and past life regression helps. It helps you progress faster. If you've had chapters that have cycles or patterns of negative things happening, we can identify that, alleviate it, and move forward.
Wow, that is very interesting. It makes you wonder, like with really successful people in the world, is that accumulation of their past lives? Or is that their current life that they're putting in a lot of work in?
Usually it's the current life. However, I've noticed patterns and cycles of spiritual people having a lot of past lives as spiritual people. I've had business owners. I've done these with pretty well-known business owners, some not well-known celebrities, but people that they've done it before. You can do it again, so it gives you confidence to do that and pursue that again.
Have you seen a lot of past lives where you're dating the same person?
So we do reincarnate with our spirit family, and this is a group of about 10 to 20 like-minded spirits that are vibrating at the same frequency that choose to incarnate with each other to teach each other lessons. This could be good or bad lessons, but our soulmate, if you meet someone, you don't even have to talk to them and you feel like you know them forever, that could be part of that soul group.
It is interesting because I've had it done on me and my mother, and it's kind of weird to say this, but like in past lives, we were siblings, we were romantic partners. Yeah. I was her dad, I was her mom. Like, it's really interesting, right?
Yeah, we switch places. So we could be male or female, rich or poor, dark skin, light skin, good relationships, bad skin, and we do that to learn different lessons. So your soulmate, you could switch places in the past life, and in future lives you will as well, just to learn more lessons.
Now the transgender stuff, so that's obviously a big movement now. It's talked about widely, but it's been around for a while. I've had a couple transgender lives in ancient times. Have you seen that in any of your readings?
I've done some sessions with some people like that. And what happens is if we've had several past lives, let's say we're a female in 5 past lives, and then we choose to be a male to learn different lessons, we're going to feel like we're not in the right body. It's going to feel different, awkward, especially with relationships. So your soul knows, and your soul made the decision to come to this incarnation and learn that. So I've had several sessions like that, and we have masculine and feminine energy that we bring over. Usually it's leaning more toward one or the other. In the spirit realm, we don't have a form, so we're masculine or feminine, but we always present ourselves as one. So it's very interesting, that's happening now. So I think this work can draw a spiritual perspective on the deeper meaning of it.
It is interesting because there's always that debate of like if you're born gay or like do you get that from environment, right? But it could be from past lives too or something.
And that's actually pretty common. There's been several past lives of people being gay in this life, but they're straight in past lives, or straight in this life, but they've been gay before. That's not the transgender thing is more new. And what happens is 86% of middle schools have body dysmorphia. So men want to be bigger and stronger. Women want to be more curvy and prettier. And combine that with depression, poor diet, maybe parents divorce, things like trauma like that, it can cause some confusion. But the deeper meaning is just, we're in this physical incarnation. We came here with a soul's contract, and just going with it, because the universe will continue to test you until you pass the test. And so you might have to come back if you switch, that might be your journey to switch, but you're probably going to have to come back as a male in the next life or the next, if you keep trying to change things.
That is pretty unreal. 86% struggle with body dysmorphia in middle school.
It's a high percent, yeah.
Yeah, looking back, I probably did. I was a really skinny guy. I wanted to be bigger and stronger.
Especially with TV and celebrities and movies now. We want to look like a movie star. We want to look, the Kardashians. So it's tough.
Well, people tie their identities to their physical appearance a lot of the times, right?
Yeah, and I wish we could see each other as spirits, our souls, our essence of who we are, not our physical differences. And I feel like that is what will help this work helps people with
Shout out to today's sponsor, Quince. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually gets the job done, that are warm, durable, and built to last. Quince delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. They have fall staples that you'll actually want to wear, like the 100% Mongolian cashmere for just $60. They also got classic fit denim and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. They've really become a go-to across the board. You guys know how I love linen and how I've talked about it on previous episodes. I picked up some linen pants and they feel incredible. The quality is definitely noticeable compared to other brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/DSH for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. They're also available in Canada too.
As their physical differences, I see them as the essence of who you are. So in past lives, you'll switch bodies and look different, but the character will remain similar throughout these past life journeys, throughout your soul's history.
Wow. Even from beginning to now?
The essence of who you are, your character, your charisma, that will remain similar. And I see the patterns and cycles in past lives of, people struggling with relationship issues in this life. Maybe they're afraid to speak their truth. Well, in past lives, they'll see reflections of that happening. And what it does, it gives us a chance to reflect on that, learn the lesson, and in these sessions, that emotion from trauma gets trapped in your body somewhere. Well, that can be carried over in the form of birthmarks, fears, or phobias that are unexplained.
So birthmarks, what do those usually mean?
That's really interesting because epigenetics science has no reason for birthmarks, really. So I've discovered in these past life journeys, birthmarks are tied to a traumatic death scene with an emotional charge.
Wow.
So I've had someone be an Indian, Native American Indian. They were jumping across the river trying to impress a girl. They fell down the waterfall, broke their shoulder, couldn't draw back a bow. They lost the girl. In this life, they had a birthmark on their shoulder, aches and pains. After the session, the aches and pains went away. The birthmark was still there, but they learned the lesson. But another lady, a birthmark on her leg, didn't know where it came from. She was hiking in the forest. She's actually afraid to go in the forest in this life. Well, when she was in the forest, she fell down the mountain, got impaled by a stick, led to her death. She pulled the stick out eventually. No one was there to save her. So that explained her birthmark and her fear of being in the woods alone.
Jeez. I got to look all over my body now and see if I have any of those. Do you have any?
I don't.
So you never had a traumatic death?
Well, it's the most recent past lives will reveal what's relevant. So it could be.
Oh, so they go away like over time?
They could be as we heal ourselves. So doing this work, we heal ourselves on all timelines.
Got it.
I've had someone with a birthmark on their heart, and had really severe trust issues, especially with men. And in a past life, they were in London at midnight. They were on a bridge. They were stabbed in the heart from the backside by a stranger. They died. And that solved his birthmark and his trust issues.
Holy crap.
Our subconscious is like a firewall. It tries to keep us alive. When we touch a stove when we're little, we know not to do that because we subconsciously know that hurt us. Well, that can be from childhood or from past lives.
So it could trauma from your own past lives. What about generational trauma? Is it possible that we can inherit trauma from our grandparents?
We can, yeah. Yep. So that's generational ancestral trauma, which does affect us. But the spiritual side is the past lives trauma from the different bodies that we were in. Our soul will carry those memories over with us, and our subconscious will try to protect us. I have an example. When I was little, I fell off a sailboat when I was 5. I was scared to go on sailboats for no reason. I didn't know why until I realized, oh, that happened. That was an emotional. So we remember things that are emotional, whether it's good or bad. So that's what our body tries to protect us from happening.
I could see that. Have you ever seen a past life where the person wasn't human, in human form?
Yeah, those are really interesting. I've had lots of off-planet past lives. And by the way, these sessions go where they're supposed to go. The higher self will bring you what you're ready to see. A lot of people aren't ready to see that yet, but a lot of spirit guides are. They present themselves as human, but they look. I've had several sessions where they present themselves as beings from other planets, other dimensions.
Wow. Spirit guides are like, what do you mean by that?
So we all have our higher self, which is. Imagine our higher self is the full, pure essence of who we are, our light, and we only bring a fraction of that into our human body right now. We're on the way because we're raising our consciousness here on Earth to bring over more, but we can only bring over a little bit. And our higher self is always watching us, helping us, guiding us. Our spirit guide is a higher level soul who guides. We all have one. We all could have many, but the spirit guide helps us through these challenges. We can call on them. They're always with us.
I'd love to meet mine one day. So we have multiple.
We have, for example, past loved ones could always be watching us.
Got it.
But we have one assigned spirit guide to us, everyone.
Now, for past loved ones, what if they want to reincarnate? Can you still talk to them?
Absolutely. I mean, I never went to a psychic until my little brother passed away a few years ago, and it was sudden. And went to psychic. They were able to tell me things about him I wouldn't know, he wouldn't know. It was very revealing. And one of my most touching past life adventures was with a lady with she did Reiki in this life. She did Reiki in a past life, and she was in a past life. I'll tell you the story. She was in the indigenous tribe, and her dad wanted to marry her off to this. Gain alliances. She didn't want to do that, so she left that tribe, went to work on her own. She was like this medicine woman that worked alone in her house, and people would come to her. One day, her dad came to her with a leg injury, and she was able to heal him in a past life, and that resembled her relationship with her dad now.
Holy crap!
In the same session, she was a Reiki specialist in like Chinatown or something. And she would put Reiki into these objects, and people would take them home. They'd be healed. They'd be get lucky. They'd have better relationships. She could move water from water fountains with her hands.
She was water bending?
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. And then at the end of the session, I asked, is there any messages for Jonathan? I don't always ask that. She said, your brother's saying he loves you. He's sitting by a bench by a pond with ducks. He's cute, and he's saying he loves you, and he's happy now. I said, thank you.
Wow.
And then after the session, I told her, my brother died a few months ago. She didn't know I had a brother. She didn't know what happened at all. And that came through.
Wow. She had no idea. And she knew his name before you even brought it up?
She knew it was my brother. Yeah, she said brother right away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, how would she know that? It could have been anyone. Could have been a friend. Could have been your dad. Like...
It was very special. Very special moment. These sessions, the higher self will be guiding you guys, not me. The higher self is more wise and brilliant. It knows what to show you and what not to show you. So it'll bring you to the most relevant past lives. Your past lives now will be different than they will be in 5 years from now, depending on the challenges we're going through.
Holy crap. So it'll just show you what's needed.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always have my clients write out a list of questions, intentions for the session. They'll be guiding us. And by the end of the session, they usually all get answered.
That is interesting. Can you go in the future too?
Yeah, I've gone to I don't do that very often, but I've done that a few times in future lives. Very interesting. Holographic technology, self-propelled cars. It's really, really cool stuff.
Was it still on Earth or?
Yeah, it's on our anti-gravity, cities floating around. It is, we're going through this tough time now, but we're an exciting time too. So we need to limit our distractions, focus on our circle of influence, raise our vibration, and they keep telling me, love is the only way.
It's the most powerful frequency, right?
Love and true authenticity, because that's accepting ourselves unconditionally.
Yeah. That's my most important thing in life, like trait-wise, authenticity.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm finally living in it when a majority of my life I wasn't.
You are. You're genuine, and that's why so many people are gravitate toward this podcast.
Yeah. I think it all worked out how it should, but I'm just so at peace with myself right now. Like before, I felt like I was constantly being someone else.
Yeah, and me too. I would go to friend groups that were doing this or that, and I didn't even really like those activities.
Right.
Now I just do what I want, and I attract people to me, and I'm more happy.
Yeah, same, bro. I was bumping Jonas Brothers on the way here in my car, singing out loud. Like, I would never be comfortable to do that 5-10 years ago, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Just be yourself. And we all have that pure essence of who we are before life gets in the way. Kids make fun of us. We kind of cover ourselves up and shield ourselves, but really letting go of that. And that's what these sessions do. So a lot of times people have tough lives, challenging things happen, and we can choose to let it run our lives, or we can choose to heal ourselves. And that's what this work helps. I help people with PTSD, trauma from childhood or beyond. And in one or a few sessions, it's released.
Wow, that's fast, because these people went through decades of trauma.
Especially first line responders.
Yeah.
People have been to a battle, in war, and they think there's no way out. But really, we can rewrite the story with going into the subconscious. We can think about it with our conscious mind, but it doesn't get absorbed. So let give you an example. Why do most people have childhood trauma? Is because all children from 0 to age 8 operate in the theta frequency, the frequency of hypnosis. That's why children can often remember their past lives, and a lot of adults walk around with childhood trauma. So when we grow up, we go into the beta and alpha waves, so we can shield ourselves. If someone tells us we're not good enough, we can say, no, that's wrong. But as a kid, we don't have that yet. So we're able to alleviate some of these things.
I used to have profound visions as a kid, both in the dream state and in waking life, and I never told anyone about it. I was ashamed.
So Jim Tucker out of the University of Virginia has 2 books on children's past lives, thousands of cases of children's past life stories just like that. I've had clients tell me their kids told me remember when you were the dad and I was the mom? And for some reason, people believe these stories more than past life regression sessions.
Yeah.
I think because of the innocence of a kid.
Facts. Because they have no reason to lie when they're that innocent.
How would they know the stuff?
Yeah.
And so Ryan Hamill is a good example. He was a kid who kept having dreams of crashing in a plane, and the plane, and his parents were like, "What's happening?" And so they asked him, "What happened?" "Well, I was fighting in World War II, and the Japanese shot me down." And he was able to recall 60 questions from a detective. All of them were accurate. They found the family. They found his platoon member, evidence. They found,
That's
actual.
nuts.
Yeah.
I need to look into that one. What was that guy's name?
Ryan Hamill. Very famous past life story.
That is nuts. Yeah, Mateus De Stefano has quite a few of those too.
Does he?
Yeah. He just remembers all his past lives. It's crazy. Some people are like that.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not here I want everyone to do their own research on what they believe and what they don't believe, but it's almost talked about like it's a matter of fact in the spiritual realm now. So I'll go over a few kind of validating facts. So past life regression is like an experiment. We can do it I've done this session with people from 57 different countries, about 1,000 sessions, and they just go into their past lives, and it's like an experiment. You can do the same thing over and over, and you get similar results. Every past life is different. And then Dolores Cannon's books, Michael Newton's books, so thousands of, probably millions of people at this point. Children's past lives, lots of cases like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's plant medicine, which in ayahuasca ceremonies, a lot of times past life stuff gets brought up.
Right.
Psychics and mediums send a lot of people to me because they say, oh, there's some stuff in your past lives you might want to look at, but they can't clear that like we can with the sessions. Spiritual books and gurus. So there's so much. If you look in near-death experiences is one I really wanted to talk about too.
Yeah.
So many of those now. And you just had Betty G from addiction to awakening. And I love her. I've never met her, but I love her. For her to go through that challenge and get through it and still have her light, absolutely amazing. And so if you guys are listening, that was a podcast a few months ago that came out.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Really impactful one and inspiring.
Yeah.
She almost died a few times, I believe.
Yeah,
near-death experiences. I wonder what it is that triggers that.
And they report being conscious while the heart stopped, clinically dead. And they report, so all these things correlate. Not just one would be enough evidence for me. I'm a skeptic.
No.
But all of these things combined, if you read a few books on each and tell me you don't believe it, that's great. But try researching this stuff. There's 8 billion people out there. One person has to know the answer to something.
That's why I feel like with the UFO stuff too, because there's thousands of these alleged abductions. There has to be at least a few of them that are true out of just pure numbers, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like taking a spoon out of the ocean and saying we searched the universe. It's like the ocean is so vast. The universe is so vast. And I've had some abduction. So we can regress people to childhood, past lives. I can regress people to alien abduction, close encounter.
Wow.
We can recall that time that was lost. I've had a few sessions like that, and typically they're friendly. So I want to, 1% of people might be bad, 1% of aliens might be bad, whatever. But most of the time it's friendly. They're monitoring their own kind. Because think about our soul. Where does it come from? It could come from Arcturian, Palladium, Sirian, whatever star seed. We came here to raise the consciousness and the frequency of the planet at this time. So they're monitoring their own kind, giving them downloads, sending them back, usually.
That makes sense, because if they were truly abducting them for nefarious reasons, why would they send them back?
Right.
Doesn't make sense,
they
right?
They could wipe us out immediately. They have the technology. We're so limited here. We're in a chaotic time. They're watching us, so it's like the biggest show on Earth. Is that they're kind of all watching us, seeing what'll happen next. Is it going to be like Atlantis, Solar Mirror? We're going to fail, or are we going to grow into love and succeed and evolve?
When you hear people say that Earth is a prison planet, do you agree with that or no?
In the context of the 3D world, it does seem like that sometimes, but from a spiritual perspective, I have not found that to be true. I'm open to that. But, we're in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like our society is set up like a casino. And when you go in a casino, it's set up and, the house always wins.
Yep.
And that's kind of like, what we're experiencing now. And so there's a great, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is great, but the Hawkins scale of enlightenment is really great too. And that's our frequency. So at the bottom, it's suffering and anger and hate. At the top, it's enlightenment, joy, and love. And when you have a society that's stuck, and if you're just trying to survive and get by and have trauma, you can't be in these higher elevated frequencies. So it is in the sense that a lot of us are stuck down here, but we have the power to elevate through love.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it's intentional, because with the whole way money works is there's no way everyone can get to the top if they're basing their values off money and wealth, right?
Yeah, money is an energy, but yeah, the money system needs changing.
Yeah, well, it just wouldn't make logical sense if everyone had money. Like it wouldn't work at that point.
No, it doesn't. And our frequency, I think our energy is more valuable than money, because you talk to a rich person, they can't buy time back if they're older. They can't do that. So.
Yeah, money is interesting because it's needed, especially in America, but you don't want to let it consume you.
Right. Yeah, you need balance. And I used to chase money and doing these different jobs and stuff, but really, if you do what every job is a stepping stone, guys out there. If you're younger and in college and stuff like that, but being your true authentic self and being genuine and doing what you really love, money will find you. Money will follow you. You don't chase money. Money follows you. When you do what you love, you'll be better at it. You'll just love your life more. I'm doing this. I never thought I was going to be doing this.
Yeah, same. I never thought I'd be doing this. I didn't like talking to people growing up. I was very shy,
I was so shy too.
So shy, dude. Like I would never raise my hand in class, never approach a girl, never made actual friends. Like that was me.
Yeah, so, I think we have a similar path then.
Yeah,
I always knew I always had high hopes for myself and I knew I was talented and stuff, but it felt like other people didn't see that in me. But as long as you see that in you and you don't care about what anyone else thinks and you go toward it, look at us, look at you. Like you can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I truly believe that. Karmic loops, how do those work from your experience reading thousands of past lives?
Yeah, so I see a lot of cycles or patterns of people experiencing the same thing over and over, and it's the universe is a hard teacher. It won't let you graduate, go to the next lesson unless you pass the test. And I've had people with abusive relationships, their throat was all clogged up because they weren't speaking their truth. And they, had past life after past life, and in this life they have an abusive relationship. After the session, you're able to see that from a different perspective, clear that throat up. They're able to speak more confidently and choose better partners that can respect them and treat them all.
Yeah, that was a big revelation for me, finding out that people in toxic relationships are usually the ones attracting them. Because when I was growing up, I would always come to their defense, and now I take it from a different angle.
Yeah, you get what you get what you put out. You get what you want too, and a lot of people think they want this, but they subconsciously want something else.
Yeah,
they can tell themselves, "I want to commit a relationship," but deep down, do they? And so, with hypnotherapy, we can tap into that subconscious.
Yeah, you have to tell people this, and some people don't like hearing it, but you got to take accountability of the people around you. Like, you're choosing to incorporate them in your life, whether you're dating them, friends with them, even sometimes family. Like, you could choose to cut off family if you want to.
Yeah, we can't choose our family. We can choose our friends, but we are the 5 people that we hang out with the most. We are the average. Their energy will rub off on you. And so choosing to be around those high elevated people that lift you up and support you is important.
Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest impacts of my life, honestly. So people watching this, like, really do an evaluation on your 5 closest people right now. Can you see a future with them?
And I don't know about you, but my circle was bigger when I was younger, but now it's smaller and more quality. The quality is important.
100%. I used to chase big circles for no reason. I used to want to have so many friends. Now I keep it on one hand.
There you go.
You know, one hand rule is what I call it.
Yep. And they're going to be for you in the rainy days, or if you need help or to move, and that's, or tragedy happens, they're there to support you. They're there to give you a hand up when you need it, and you're going to be there to help them when they need it.
I know they will, because it's happened. That's how I know they're those 5 people, because I've been through some peaks and valleys, and they were there. Yeah, it's good to go through those. You find out who the real ones are.
Yeah, yep. And why do we have to struggle? Why do we have to have these challenges? It's because we won't grow if we're comfortable. The body seeks comfort, and a lot of people, if they start to do better, they'll be scared or fear, and we grow through these challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have them.
What do you think the end goal is for the soul evolution? Do you think we just keep climbing dimensions? Do you think we become something else?
It's a good question. So we're here to raise our vibration here on Earth, and so we're in the 3D. We're moving to 5D, and what I really think, and you talked about simulations before, and if it's the most spiritual, loving simulation ever. I think that's the only word that we need more words for metaphysical concepts, really. But yeah, it's a proving ground, it's a testing ground. And when we come into Earth with the same rules, we wake up with amnesia, we don't know where we're at, we have to figure it out. And if we were given the rules to be nice, that wouldn't be as genuine if you just want to be nice. And it's almost like we're being tested to see if, when we do raise our vibration, if we'll be worthy of creating the universes ourselves that would be in the most beneficial, loving respect to what is everything.
So do you think we become God, or do you think we are God right now? Where do you see it going, I guess?
Yeah, the ocean, a wave is part of the ocean, just like we are part of God, right? God is encompassing everything. And this work validates the higher purpose more than anything. I do this work with a lot of people from different religions. Yeah, we are God experiencing life itself, a little fraction of it.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I know some religions aren't the biggest fan of this type of stuff.
Well, it's just the West that forgot. Actually, over half the world believes in reincarnation
from
a young age.
Oh,
Buddhism,
wow.
Hinduism, Judaism, Jainism, they all grew up with this. It's only the West that forgot. And, through this work, I hope I can help people in this message not fear death, one, and not fear going to hell. I haven't found it yet.
You haven't found hell yet?
I'm open to the idea.
I have heard from certain psychics that when they channel people that have done some dark things, I guess there is a very low vibrational place, which I guess some people would consider hell.
Sure. So it's kind of like an eye for an eye, but not exactly. So if you are prejudiced to someone, you might come back as that race and have that done to you. If you hurt someone, you might come back in the next life and have that. We need that yin and the yang, that balance.
Wow. Yeah. Got to be careful, guys, if you're racist. Might come back as that other race.
Right. That's why I hope this work helps people learn that we're just our soul in this body, our physical body, our dark skin, light skin, male, female, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I always thought that was a low IQ conversation.
Yeah.
When it's about race.
Yeah, I'm nice to everyone no matter what. I notice people are nicer to me if I dress nicer and, they value you more. But, we all have challenge. Like I'm white and blue eyes. I'm 1% of the world that has that actually. But, people are mean to me because I'm shy. I'm not as big as they want me to be. And so people will put you down no matter who you are, no matter what race you are, but transcend that. Don't let them get to you and move forward.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be very interesting if the whole world believed in reincarnation and karma, right? Because I feel like that would make everyone nicer by default.
Yeah, and give them a lot of people don't have a purpose right now. And so with these sessions, a lot of my clients are stuck. They don't know what to do next. They're stuck in these just roles for years. And it helps them find that purpose, that fulfillment, that clarity, alleviate the trauma, and move forward into a higher perspective.
World would be a very beautiful place if everyone knew their purpose.
Yeah.
Like if I had to guess, I'd say like under 20% of people know their actual purpose.
We're all just kind of going through the motions. There's a lot of distractions out there, right? The news and the media, and it doesn't surprise me they lie. It surprises me so many people believe it. And I'd feel just so hopeless if I was listening to that all day. But we all have it. We don't all want Lamborghinis or mansions. We all have a different purpose. We all want different things. So never think that you're selfish or greedy for wanting what you desire. You should be able to get that. There's other people that want that too in different relationships. So if you want that, go toward that.
Yeah. For me, like I lived chasing materialism for a while, and then once I found my purpose with the podcast, and that was validated through psychics, through past life healing, through multiple modalities, I've been so at peace, man.
Yeah,
it's been great.
And you're following, and it just feels natural. It flows. Everything's in alignment. It's easy. The sunset doesn't try to be beautiful. It just is.
Yeah. I'm flowing. Like I'm waking up and just doing whatever I want. Like I don't feel forced to do anything.
Yeah, it feels good. Make your life, and it doesn't have to be a vacation like it's easy, but it has to be meaningful and purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of that, we come here to help others. Be in service to others is huge, right? Because we all need help at some times. Learn and progress, and to celebrate because this planet's beautiful.
Yeah. Service to others. That's huge for me. I try to do that as much as possible.
You're doing it.
Yeah. Through the show, but also just like through connections. Like I just love connecting people, man.
You do good at that too. Yeah. You're not you're in abundance, and I just want people. If you want to do a one-on-one session with me, that's great. Or if you want to do one with someone else in person, that's great too. I just want more people to learn about this so they can know about it. And I'm in abundance, so I'm doing what I like to do. I'm having great sessions. And
yeah, I try to have an abundant mindset because I know a lot of people keep their connections close to heart. Sometimes they don't want to share them, but I'm the total opposite.
Yeah. What's meant for you will find you.
Yeah, like as long as I've vetted the person and they're legit, like I'll connect you guys, even if I make nothing out of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And that's huge. That's a personality trait that's rare. And that's much needed.
Yeah, people always are like, why are you doing that? I'm like, dude, like it's going to come back to me one day, even if I make nothing off this or get no recognition.
Yeah. And, even on your worst day, you could be the best part of someone else's day, is what I tell people. You could make someone smile at the gas station. By you connecting those people, you're creating a ripple effect that makes the world a better place.
Right, because they're going to go on and do big stuff together. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Feeling homesick for somewhere you've never been. What do you mean by that?
So I've had sessions with people that are from off planet, and they come to Earth. Earth's a really challenging place, and they don't know why they're here. They don't know what to do next, and they go into their past lives on these off planet past life adventures. I've even had people go into past lives on Earth as blue skin in Lemuria.
Wow.
We're in the going out of the dark age into Aquarius now, but we were very dense. And back then, so there's a 26,000 year cycle that it orbits that our solar system goes through. I forget what it's called, but and so astrology.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, it just keeps repeating, and it's astrology. And so in the past, we were more translucent and energy. So crystals, energy healing, sound healing was more effective. Now we're actually going into that again. And so that's going to be more and more effective. So what you promote with the red light therapy, the sound healing is going to be more, Reiki is more, so it's all getting more powerful.
Nice. I have a big crystal collection. I do red light saunas all the time. I'm going to start getting some sound bowls for the studio and clear after every episode.
Love it.
I'm into all that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I know how powerful sound and frequency is, though. I've heard some crazy stories. I bet you have too about healing.
Yeah, and I do group past life sessions too at festivals, and I'm open doing more of a crystal sound bowl healer that does the sound healing while I do the meditation.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It's really powerful.
You got to get out to Burning Man this week.
Yeah, I heard.
The line was crazy.
Yeah, I saw that.
12 hours in a car on the highway.
My friend's performing there, and it was dusty and it was tough.
It's on my bucket list, but it sounds like I don't think I'd go the first day. I don't want to be stuck in 12 hours of traffic.
No, I'd like to perform at some more. I do some entertainment stuff with what I do too, helping people expand people's mind. And I love festivals. And a lot of these past life sessions, I'll say, go to an important day or go to a happy day. A lot of them go to like a harvest festival, a wedding. So these festivals are like, we're connected when we feel alive when we're there. And that's important. It's important in past lives, and it is today.
What's a harvest festival?
So a lot of times in past life adventures, it was hundreds of years ago. So at the end of the season, they would harvest. So they'd be an abundance of crops and food and music and stuff. And it'd be the only time. I mean, think about 100 years ago, you couldn't listen to music unless it was live. Now we can listen to music. I'm always listening to sound frequencies.
Wow, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. It's so easy to just throw on a song.
Yeah, so put that song on. Go and get into that mood, guys. Like, throw it on.
I hired live musicians for my wedding because I felt like that was like important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Compared to like a playlist, I guess. I feel like it hits different at a wedding.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah. What's your favorite timeline when you think about past lives? Like, do you have a favorite era you lived in?
Yes. So I've gone to a lot of my clients go into past lives from Egypt. Some from Atlantis, but that was a long time ago. Egypt's it was the Mecca a few thousand years ago. And back then, I mean, they had priestesses. They were very spiritual. I'll tell you this one story. I had this lady from California. She's a singer in this life. She has like hesitation to go on stage. And before the session, she didn't mention this, but she is frightened of elevators. She would text her mom anytime she goes in an elevator. She would bring snacks just in case she got stuck.
Yeah.
Really random phobia, right? And and she hates Egypt. She would never ever go there, right? In this life, but no logical reason. In a past life adventure, she was in Egypt. We went to Egypt for her third life that we went to, and she was a priestess. She would sing just like she does in this life, rituals. She was very in touch with her priestesses friends, but the Pharaoh is so mean. He would many scenes in that life. He was angry and mean. One day she stood up to him and said, "No, you can't treat me like that." I don't remember exactly what she said. And he locked her in a dungeon in the basement of the pyramid in a musty old cold room. And she said it felt cold. And they stuck her in there. And that's where she died eventually of starvation.
Wow.
That solved her fear of elevators and closed spaces, bringing snacks everywhere. And afterwards, she reports her voice sounds different. It sounds more confident. The tone is different. So she's able to perform better.
That's crazy. Yeah, I have a lot of Syrian lineage. I've done a couple past life readings, and they both said that. And one of my lives was in Egypt. I used to perform for the pharaohs. Pretty crazy, right? I was a performer.
Yeah,
it's a pretty high pressure life.
Look what you're doing now.
Yeah, performing. But I want to get out there. I think I'd really connect and find some answers if I went to Egypt. I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
You been out there?
I've been to Mount Shasta twice. And if you can't feel the energy there, you're doing something wrong.
Is that in Egypt?
Sorry, Mount Shasta is Northern California.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I've never been to Egypt. But,
I need to get out there then. Is that a Syrian site, or what's going on there?
Mount Shasta is considered one of the eighth wonders of the world. It's the chakra of the world, and there's a lot of activity with lights, strange, UFO lights. There's some stuff going on underground there. The locals will tell you a lot of the stories, but the energy there is very good.
Are you pretty sensitive to energies, like when you go places?
I am, yeah. I do Reiki as well, and Reiki really helps you tap in. You kind of tune into a different frequency. Like I felt my Wi-Fi and electricity near me. Like it felt like static, and so it's almost like a sixth sense. Vegas feels kind of masculine with the partying and weather and stuff.
I heard a lot of spiritual people struggle in Vegas, especially at some of the hotels because they're super haunted. A lot of people ending their lives there, heavy energy.
Yeah. So So what happens with ghosts is if it's a traumatic, it's like a murder or something that happens really suddenly. Imagine you jump in cold water. You're like, whoa, wait, I'm awake. And that can happen for a spirit if they're confused. They're like, what just happened? They'll stay around because we have free will. They don't have to go up right away. And they'll perhaps haunt the place. And time isn't a thing in the spirit world, so they could be there for a long, long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they know they're a spirit usually?
Usually they don't. They're confused. So that's why we can do ghost clearings, which is basically using Reiki or your intention to communicate with them, tell them it's okay, this is what happened. You don't force them to go back because they have free will, but let them know it's for their highest good if they do.
Yeah.
So they can move on.
What do you think they're seeing in that state? Do you think they could see us?
Yeah. So sometimes they can because, geez, my cousin moved into an apartment and someone was murdered in it a few months prior.
Jeez, why'd she move in there?
Well, they didn't tell her.
Oh, wow. That's illegal, I think.
It is. So, and that's another kind of validating fact. Every state, you have to tell someone if someone died in the house, if you buy a new house. Why would they have that law if it doesn't impact a lot of people?
Valid point, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a law. So so this ghost she would have dreams of what happened, and she looked it up because she's on the news team, and she found someone was murdered there.
Holy crap.
And they moved her out. They said, we're sorry, we're going to move you out and double their space.
You'd be surprised how many houses are haunted. Both me and my fiance's childhood homes were haunted. We found out later in life.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to have wicked nightmares, sleep paralysis. Always felt like there was someone watching me in my bedroom, like literally always. I had to sleep with the lights on.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a weird kind of growing up
Yeah.
for me.
Man, everything happens for a reason. It probably taught you something that you learned from it. But some of these challenges are
Yeah, her house was super haunted because it was from like World War I, like built super early. And then we pulled up the Zillow one day and zoomed in on the windows. There were so many faces. It was creepy.
Yeah. Paranormal podcasts are more big now. A lot of people have similar stories, and it's validating to know what happened, and other people are experiencing this.
Yeah, I'm a believer, man. I know it's a controversial take, but I believe in the spirits and the ghosts.
Yeah, it happens, and just know, psychics and mediums can tap into what happened and talk to them, but always, you can do it yourself. You can be at home and just meditate and say, all right, ghost, what happened wasn't fair. You're here, you're confused. You can move up, though. You have the ability to move up for your highest good.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people find they feel better after that.
Yeah, you could definitely go within. But if you're not there yet, I tell people not to judge their experience off one experience. So like one psychic, one past life reader. Try multiple out.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work for me at first. You know what I mean? For both. And then found the right people. And now I believe in it.
Yeah.
The psychic was literally saying, like, I'll shout her out. Her name's Jasenia. She was saying stuff I never told anyone. She knew how my dad passed away. Never told anyone. She knew names of people I've never disclosed.
Yeah, I went to a psychic after my brother passed, or two or three actually, and I connected with two of them really good, and they told me things I never told anyone at all. They told me my mouth hurt. I haven't been to the dentist in 10 years. What do you mean?
Wow.
And it actually did hurt, and I didn't realize it. I was chewing on the others. So just really random. They knew how he died. They knew what happened with the relationship. And so what I do, though, so with a psychic and Akashic Records can read you your past lives. Mm-hmm. In this session, you're experiencing your past lives like a movie, like a daydream, and you're absolutely there and connected. You won't experience anything unpleasant. You're an observer, but a lot of my clients get clear visions, knowings, or feelings, and they're deeply connected, and it has relevance to what they're experiencing now.
I love it. Jonathan, where can people get a session from you and keep up with you, man?
Yeah, so I have a app, and it's called Journeys into the Subconscious. It's unlike any other app on the market. It's specifically for the metaphysical concepts and past lives specifically. And so people can do that. You can also do a one-on-one session with me. I do these sessions with people from all over the world. They work just as good online because people are most relaxed at their own home environment. And I'm also doing a training program. So if you want to learn how to do past life regression, if you feel called to this, you can learn from me, who's experienced it. I've learned from Dolores Cannon, Michael Newton, all the masters, and I combine that into kind of a modern take on what works specifically for now.
Love it. Check them out, guys. We'll link that up below. See you next time. Peace. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the show a lot with the algorithm. Thank you.